Hello, it is Throwback Thursday, June 4th, 2020. Steve Sipress here. And yes, it is yet another record-setting day of heat here in sunny southern Arizona. Temps over 110 degrees again, which is why we have the old cement pond to take several dips in a day. Anyway, Throwback Thursday, I'm going to throw it back to, look what I found, my passport, which I got, it's expired. I was like, oh, look at this. When's the last time? A few years ago, I used to travel like crazy all over the country, all over the world, speaking at events, attending events, hosting events, and this thing's been expired for a couple of years. Look at that. Look at that. Who is that guy? They were like, don't smile. I remember that. They were like, don't smile. I was like, what? How do you not smile? I don't know how to not smile, but anyway, there's the old expired passport. Time to get a new one, I guess, but not immediately, right? That's the point. Obviously, right now, at least here in Arizona, I think we're still on lockdown. We're not even supposed to be traveling like out of our front lawn or whatever. Oh, unless you are illegally entering someone else's business and destroying it. Then, of course, you don't need to do social distancing. You won't be arrested. You don't have to follow any rules or phases or regulations. Oh, man, the BS of the reopening delay is being exposed amazingly, isn't it? Anyway, I digress. Ramped down my travel a few years ago, and maybe it's time to kind of ramp it up a little again. Not exactly now, but maybe in the near future. I talk about this all the time with people. I talk to a lot of business owners. You head over to helpfromsteve.com. We get on the phone. We talk. I help you out, make some money. But I was talking to a longtime friend, a business associate today about a new opportunity. Looks like we are launching into together. We partnered up in it today, and I'm going to help a lot of people and make a lot of money with this one. But we were discussing. We met at an in-person event, and I had him speak on stage at one of my events and so forth through the years. And, we were talking about when or if are in-person events coming back, because a lot of them aren't. He asked me, are you going to do events again where you put 60, 80, 100 entrepreneurs in a room? I said, I just don't know. I know the bigger events will definitely all come back at some point. The big conventions, the multiple-day trade shows with 20, 30, 50,000 people attending. Of course, those will come back. Concerts, sporting events, the Dodgers, the Angels, the Yankees, that'll all come back. However, I think the smaller events, or how about the days of, come here, get out of your cubicle, we're having a problem with a client up in wherever, Idaho, hop on a plane and go see him. I think those days are kind of possibly passed by, unless it's an emergency situation. The first thing is, hey, get on a video call with them and patch that thing up. And people are realizing the value, are we not? The added value of not traveling for in-person events. I can sleep in my own bed, not have to pay $200-300 a night for a hotel room, not have to pay airfare, rent a car, get frisked, be on a bus in the sky all packed in and frisked and standing in line and all that inhuman, air travel stuff and standing in line for rent-a-cars and checking in at hotels and putting out all that money and all that time, more importantly, away from my business, away from my family, when we can all do that with online technology, which there's Zoom and there's a few other platforms, but man, more are going to spring up because this is not going away. However, I do believe that the in-person events will come back, but they will need to be much more spectacular. It will no longer be, show up, head into the room, take some notes, listen to a speaker, go out on a break, head back in, sit down, take some notes, head out. It's going to have to be some experiential stuff, some real reason for being at these events, all kinds of extracurricular activities, parties and get-togethers and experiences. Let's go, we're going out dune buggying or playing golf or sightseeing, or it's got to be a reason for the in-person event. Just like in our personal life, we decided maybe it's 10 years ago or so that we need a real reason to go to the movie theater. So we haven't stopped going to the movie theater, my beautiful wife Michelle and I, forever. But we no longer will go to the theater to see a drama with no special effects. We can watch that at home. Come on, sitting in a comfortable chair, eating food I want and taking a break and putting on pause and heading to the men's room in my own house and all that kind of stuff. But man, if it's going to be like the latest Star Wars or James Bond or Spider-Man or Avatar or one of these special things, man, let's go to the IMAX. Let's go to that big screen with the big booming sound, and we make an event out of it. And so I'm thinking that events for entrepreneurs, for business owners, are going to really have to do that. Going to have to be spectacular, and of course, they're going to have to wait a little while, because not only is the great shutdown still occurring all over the country, all over the world, but just because government officials who have been wrong about everything, of course, through this entire shutdown, say, you can reopen again, does not mean people are going to instantly be flocking to everything. Every survey I see still says, for some bizarre, well, it's not, I know why, and it's not bizarre actually, but it is kind of interesting and amazing. It's for those of us that are experts in persuasion and manipulation, sales, influence, whatever you want to call it, we understand what's going on. But I see on these studies about 30 or 40% of people answer them by, the question like, when will you go back and start doing things like, I won't leave the house till they have a vaccine. I won't go to the movie theater or fly in a plane till they have a vaccine, or some ridiculous answer like this. They've really, the influencers, the manipulators have really gotten these people and fear-mongered them into complete submission. Really cool stuff to study, because that way you can learn what's going on, see what these manipulators are doing to people, and learn how to do it yourself, not for a nefarious reason like crashing the economy and keeping them locked up in their house and taking away all their personal freedoms, but for a good reason, like selling them your product or service, which hopefully, if you're watching my videos or listening to this or reading it, however you're getting this, you have an excellent product or service, and therefore you should do all you can to get people to make use of it, to avail themselves of it. Now, if you have some fly-by-night, crappy, shoddy piece of garbage product or service, then please don't use anything I teach or anything I share, because then you're going to be like the manipulators that have all these people believing that this virus is the most deadly, once-in-a-lifetime, highly contagious, whatever, that's ever happened. And if you go to open up your own business, we're going to put you in jail. If you attempt to open your business at a quarter capacity and put 10 people in, if it's a salon or a gym or whatever, we're going to lock you up, take away your license, cause you to go bankrupt. But if somebody else wants to break into your business while it's closed and just take everything out of it, even if we lock those people up, we're going to put them right back out on the street, because, that's just stealing stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. And if you're stealing stuff and rioting, you don't have to stand 6 feet apart. You don't have to wear a mask. You don't have to follow rules and regulations. Anyway, I digress. Found the old passport. Time to get a new one. I looked it up and on some government website, and apparently good news is you can renew an expired passport. So even though this is expired, I'm going to fill out the application, send in the fee, got to send in a new photo, and update our passports, and then maybe when things start happening again, we'll do some traveling. Hopefully you will as well, because life is short and you want to enjoy it. And all the virtual reality and online YouTube videos and whatever can't hold a candle to actually traveling, right? Actually seeing the views, being there, breathing the fresh air, walking around the Coliseum. I haven't done that yet, but I predict it's a lot better experience than just looking at pictures and videos of Rome and the Coliseum. Stuff like that. Anyway, that'll do it for Throwback Thursday. I guess the main lesson of today is study what's going on with all the misinformation and manipulation and persuasion and influence that's going on. Because if you can convince people to suddenly give up all of their personal liberties for something that all the facts point to is a complete overblown, overhyped, not nearly dangerous situation, then when you are selling your excellent, helpful product or service, man, they can do it to sell something that destroys people. Certainly you can use those strategies and tactics to help people. And if you want my help, head over to helpfromsteve.com. If you want my daily help and examples and explanations of how to profit from all this chaos going on, go to profitfromchaos.com. And I'll help you out there as well. And I'll catch you tomorrow on Foundation Friday. We are getting into the final section of the book, How to Be Rich. And I will bring that to you tomorrow. Thanks for being here today. Over and out. Bye-bye.